Hi, boys and girls. So, we're going to work on our personal narrative. We talked about our introduction the other day, and you should have written an introduction to introduce your memory. And remember, I said it's like you're going fishing and you want to hook your audience with your introduction, make us want to read more. So, I'm going to read my example of an introduction for you, and I'm going to highlight that. So this is my introduction. It was October and school had been in full swing. I had not been on a real vacation in years. I really needed some time to get away with my kids and enjoy some sun therapy. But where would we go? How could I afford to take them to the beach this year? That's when my brother called and told me he had rented 5 condos in Miami, Florida, and asked if I wanted to take my kids and join him and his kids on a vacation. I said, "Are you kidding me?" "Yes, of course." All right, so that is my introduction. As you can see, my personal narrative is going to be about a trip that my children and I took to the beach, Miami, Florida, in fact. This was 2 years ago. So, this is a true story, which is what makes it a personal narrative. And you'll notice I'm using the words I, me, we, our. So, that tells you this is written in first person. All right, so that's my introduction. Hopefully, I've made you want to read more. I've introduced what my essay will be about. Of course, it's about my beach trip. And I want you to also notice that I included dialogue. I said, and there's my quotation marks, "Are you kidding me?" "Yes, of course." So this is what I actually said to my brother. So I wanted to point out that I did include some dialogue. Now I'm going to highlight the body of my paper, which is actually what we're going to work on today. So you're going to be writing the body to go along with your introduction. So I've returned your introduction if you've handed it in. I've graded it and I've returned it to you. So I just want you to add on to your paper. Don't delete your introduction. Leave this part there. I just want you to come down and continue writing. So the body of your paragraph is basically supports your topic. So I introduced my topic in my introduction, and now I want to add some details that connect with my topic sentence. You want to use your 5 senses. So, what did you see? What did you feel, hear, taste, smell? Include some of those details in your writing. If you have more dialogue, include more dialogue in your writing. And then also, I'd like for you to include at least one simile or metaphor to describe something. So, I'm going to read my body and see if you can, first of all, see how it connects. I want you to listen for my descriptions, the way that I've used my 5 senses to describe things, and then see if you can find a simile or a metaphor in my writing. Remember, that is where you're comparing two things. Similes use like or as, metaphors say something is something else. All right. We packed our bags and were on our way to Miami. The boys fussed about who could ride up front with me, so I made them take turns. When we got there, they had their own condo. They loved that. They showed up in my condo every morning for breakfast and every evening for dinner. We spent our days basking in the warmth of the sun, and there I am describing how the sun feels. The sun was a warm oven toasting my skin. At night, we would walk along the beach and feel the cool sand between our toes. Again, I'm describing what the sand feels like. Sometimes we walked to the ice cream shop on the boardwalk. They had the best ice cream I'd ever eaten. You could hear salsa music all around, and there were tons of people. Neon lights shone from the restaurants. It was truly a beautiful sight. We mostly cooked in the condo, but a few times we went out to eat seafood. Crab legs are my favorite. When the week was over, it was time to go home. So I've included lots of details about what I see, what I hear. I'm going to add, as I'm reading it, I feel like I can add some more description. So crab legs are my favorite. They are messy to eat. The juice ran down my hands and I licked the buttery goodness off. No, that's kind of gross, but let's face it, we all lick our fingers when something really yummy, there's a fly in my face, when something really yummy and buttery's on our fingers, we like to suck the juice off. So I definitely did that when I ate my crab legs. They're so good. So the juice ran down my hands and I licked the buttery goodness off. I could hear the crunch when I cracked my crab legs. If you've ever eaten crab legs, you know you have to use that little crunchy thing. It crunches them and breaks them in two, and then you crack them open and you pull out the yummy meat that's inside. Oh my goodness, you dip it in warm butter. It is so good. It's my favorite seafood. Okay. And I think I could even describe the ice cream a little bit. They had the best ice cream I had ever eaten. I liked the caramel ice cream. It was cold until you hit the caramel center, which was gooey and warm. So good. Okay. I think I did a pretty good job. So did you find my metaphor in my writing? I was comparing something to something else. I was saying it is something else. I didn't use like or as, so it's not a simile, it's a metaphor. So if you're confused and you're like, I didn't see a metaphor, look at this sentence. The sun was a warm oven toasting my skin. Aha! There is my metaphor. The sun was a warm oven toasting my skin. So I'm comparing the sun to a warm oven. And that is a metaphor. Now, if I had said the sun was like a warm oven, that would be a simile. But I didn't say like. I said the sun was a warm oven. So that's a metaphor. All right, boys and girls. So this is what I want you to do for today. This is the next part of your personal narrative. Do not do your closing yet. We are not finished. I only want your introduction and the body of your paragraph. Give me details about your personal narrative. Now, maybe you're not talking about a vacation. You can be writing about something totally different, but I want you to describe using your senses, describe the event, and include at least one simile or one metaphor. All right? And I can't wait to read these.